Muy buenas compañeros de juego, bienvenidos a una nueva edición de Fase de Mantenimiento. Nos encontramos en MeepleFactory, estamos hoy en la presencia de alguien estelar, una persona maravillosa. Me dijeron que iba un poco de divo, que iba un poco de... sí, soy el guerrero. Pues no,
sí.
Una persona súper humilde, súper buena gente. Estamos en la presencia de Víctor Lacerda. Víctor, ¿qué tal?
Olá a todos, obrigado por estarem aqui. Tenho pena de não falar muito espanhol, tenho que falar em inglês. Espero que não seja problema para todos, mas Manuel is translating me, so...
Sí. Lo voy a traducir palabra por palabra, sí.
Traduzir tudo. ¿Tienes alguma coisa que gostarias de me ouvir falar sobre como comecei a diseñar jogos, por
La entrevista te la hago yo.
Ok.
No ellos. Aquí
Yo
tiene
no
lo
me preguntaron
importante.
público.
Yo, vamos.
Sí,
¿Qué
ok.
es lo importante? No, en serio. A ver cómo va a ser. Estamos con público, vosotros no lo estáis viendo, nada más que no lo estáis viendo nosotros, pero tenemos por lo menos, cuento, entre cabezas y gente, unas 740 personas. Aproximadamente, persona arriba y persona abajo. Voy a hacer la entrevista yo y después daremos turno de preguntas para que todo el que esté en el público, para que cualquiera de los 740 pregunte lo que quiera. Dependiendo, ¿vale? Tampoco nos vengamos arriba. Vital, ayer en una entrevista en la que te hice de intérprete para el autor Hobbit, te preguntaron por qué juegos empezaste. What game did you start? With which one did you begin?
How did I start?
And you said Monopoly.
Yes, that's the first game I
Explain
played.
that, because from Monopoly to Lisbon, there is a long way. What happened? When did you get lost on the way?
Well, I don't know. It took me like 40 years to reach Lisboa, so from Monopoly. But yeah, like everyone else, those were the first games I played. Monopoly, Clue, I don't know, Oil in Portugal. We had some small games that we had a editorial publisher that is called Majora that made a few small games in the 70s and 80s. I'm as old as that. I born in the 16th, so I started playing what everybody else played because that's the only games that we had at that time. So, but I always loved games, and many years later, I had a couple of friends that we played together a lot Mahjong. That's a game that not many people knows in Europe, but it's very well played in China and Macau. My parents lived there, so they bring me a game of Mahjong, and I played a lot of that. And once I think that, I thought that probably there are more games somewhere than just Mahjong and some dice games and Monopoly. And then I found Board Game Geek, that everybody knows about it, right? And a new world opened to me. And I start to search many other games and playing Euro games. So that's the difference between Monopoly and Lisboa. So many years of research.
The funny point is that you told us yesterday that you passed from Monopoly and Yahtzee and
Yahtzee
and those abstract games to Martin Wallace.
Yeah. When I discovered Board Game Geek, Martin Wallace and Rainer Nizio were the most known names of board games at that time. And I started playing Martin Wallace with my group, and we loved it. And so I played a lot of Age of Steam and Brass. I don't know if you guys know that game. Those games are old games, but are still in printing. Many people that like heavy games, just like me, for sure know Martin Wallace. He's one of the best designers out there. And I fall in love with Age of Steam. And after playing a lot of Age of Steam, I decided to try to design a map of Age of Steam. It's still a map that you can download if you play Age of Steam. You can download from BGG. It's still there. It's a map of Portugal, of course. There are so many maps right now, but if you play Age of Steam, I don't know if you know the game, but you should try it. It's a really, really a good game. Okay.
Even in the early days, while you were playing those games, Monopoly, Yahtzee, this one, have you ever played normal card games with 60 cards, full games, fillers?
Yeah, sure. But I don't remember very well. But I probably played some normal card games like Hearts and other trick-taking games. Trick-taking games is the name?
Yep.
But it's not my... I really like Euro games and heavy ones that make me think. I think that the best games. I also play party games with the family, but normally that's not my thing. So.
Even in your family?
Even with my family. For instance, Kanban that I designed in 2014, many of you know the game. It was designed with my kids. He had 8 years old at the time, and we started to design that game.
So the average game in your house is Kanban?
The average game in my house is Kanban, probably, yes.
Oh my, okay. One of the funny things you realize when I check your BGG and I see all the games that you have released, I see that there is only one cooperative game, that is CO2. CO2, Second Chance, cooperative, and the normal, the first one, that is semi-cooperative.
Yes.
Why? Don't you like following those games, those cooperative games, or you prefer the competitive games?
No, I like both. I like all of them. One of my favorite games is Pandemic. It's a simple game. It's quite family game. But I also have I designed expansion for On Mars that is cooperative.
Yeah.
If you guys tried, it's much easier to teach On Mars playing the cooperative expansion to new gamers.
Wow.
Because the rules are the same, but you are helping the other gamers to enter in the game.
According to your family. In normal people, it's not easy for normal people, okay?
Yeah, but it's easier. I'm not saying it is easy, but I'm saying that it's easier to introduce new players to On Mars with the cooperative expansion. So.
I did say, yesterday I was playing with him. He explained us the House of Fado. We're going to talk about it later. And he said, no, it's really easy. 45 minutes of explanation. 45
no,
minutes.
It's not.
No, 40. Okay, well, not 45.
15
40.
minutes.
15 minutes
it's
per
not
player,
big.
okay? For each player,
Okay.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Okay, for you, okay. I remember an interview. I have prepared this interview. It's not appear, but on 2007, you said that you never wanted to collaborate with another designer for designing your games. But now we see that you have some games like Mercado de Lisboa, like House of Fado, for instance, that are with other people. But the funny thing is that they are easier than your normal games. Why?
Yeah. Because I made a friend that has a family, a normal family, that like to play family games. So, and we are designing together. It's very fun to design with him. His name is João Quintela Martins. You probably guys knew about him. And he doesn't like, well, he plays heavy games with me, but he doesn't like heavy games. So we are starting to design a new line of games based on the heavy games that I have. So basically what we are doing is to taking one mechanism from one of my heavy games and make a smaller game, a faster game. The idea is I think it's easier to introduce the players to the heavy part of my games because those heavy games are not that difficult to get. Many people think that, oh, it's impossible, it's too much for me. It's not. Just try to play once and the second play is really, well, it's not easy to play because I don't know, make easy games, but it's really easy to understand what you're doing. At least that's how I design the game. Or try to.
So you design the game, you put 27 mechanics, and he puts off 26. Okay.
Then I take some, and the game is done.
Some kind of wall, okay, for the mechanics. But perfect. When you talk about heavyweight games, according to the BGG definition of heavyweight, from 3 to 5, more or less, the well-known games are the Splotter ones and yours. Do you think that there is a market niche in heavy games that could have more designing of this kind of games?
Well, right now, yes. I think the niche of heavy games are growing faster. From like the last 10 years, the heavy games, people are discovering heavy games and playing more. When I started with Vinhos, it's a very small market. Not many publishers risk to publish the heavy game. Right now, it's much easier. There are many publishers doing this. It's not only the Splotter and Eagle Griffin Games. There are other companies like Scaleworks and the community of 18xx games is also growing, and there are more XX games and more players playing those. So I think these games are fun, and many people like to think about. So, and the market is growing. It's not just playing games for 1 hour. I think there are players now that like to be involved more than 2 or 3 hours in the game. I like it. I prefer to have more time in the game, because after 1 hour of game, I'm just thinking that now that I'm enjoying the game is over. So, and many people think like me, thank God. That's why the market is growing.
It's a pity because we have here a concept. I don't know if in your country it's the same name. Portugame. Portugame is the kind of game that is designed by Portuguese designers. For instance, yours, Nuno Soledade.
So, Paulo, yes.
But the pity is that they stopped designing. The last game I know of them is La Stanza from 2019, I think. And it's a pity. Do you know why in your country doesn't carry on designing?
There are, well, our country is very small. It's not like Spain, it's much smaller. We probably have like 200 heavy gamers playing games there, not more than that. So,
but the point is that Italy is the same, and we have Tassini, Luciani, Gigli, Brassini. We have all of them.
Well, Italy is bigger than Portugal. Well, anyway,
okay.
But
according to the size,
I know that Paul and Nuno are restarting designing games. So, and there are more Portuguese designers showing up right now. Hopefully, it's a good thing for the market. Well, we'll see. Portugal is probably known by having very few designers, but most of them like heavy games. So we design.
In fact, I don't remember any light game designed by a Portuguese designer right now.
There are some light games. There are two companies, Mebo company. There are two editorials, two publishers, Mebo and Pythagoras. Of course. They have lighter games.
You're right. Yeah. Mebo, I didn't remember them.
Because our market is very small. So
the CEO is Gilles de Rey, I know him.
Yeah,
nice guy. You design games. Now you're designing plenty of games right now. One that's going to be released on a Kickstarter campaign in a few days, a few months. But do you play any other people games?
Sure. I used to say that if you don't play games, it's just like a writer that don't read. That's just, you cannot make good games. You cannot make good books, right? You cannot write good books. You want to talk about?
Sorry? Your games? No, we are not come here for that. So, your forthcoming projects. House of Fado?
Yeah, House of Fado is a smaller game that will have the Kickstarter in May. Mm-hmm. I'm demoing the game there. If you want to try it, just show up. But the big box games that you probably are waiting for, it's the next one. Inventions is arriving to the public right now. It's a fun game. It's easy. It's not easy. It's um jogo duro. It's a little bit different from the other games that I did because it's more conceptual. It's not something like you are producing wines or you are running a gallery. It's something that you are a society that is trying to develop through times. The game is much about inventions, the ideas that are shared to the world, and then helps people to develop. Helps the societies to thrive. And after that one, the one that I just designed and finished it is called Speakeasy. I don't know if you heard about it. It's about the prohibition, the ley seca in the 20s on the United States. You are a bad guy. People like to be bad guys, right? Usually in the games. And you try to managing a few speakeasies and open nightclubs and casinos and do illegal business to get more money. The game is probably my first one that has area control. I don't have any game with area control at least at this level. And the game is fun. It's really fun. It's probably one of my top 3 for me. I'm very happy with it. So,
really?
Yeah. And I finished that one. I'm writing the final rulebooks about that one, and I already designed another one that is also duro, heavy game that is called The Great Library. The Great Library is about the Library of Alexandria 2,000 years ago. The Pharaoh Ptolemy II had an idea that was to, I'm sorry guys, that was to gather all the knowledge in the world in only one place. And I think this is a nice concept to make again. And that's what you're doing. You are gathering information from all the places and placing on the library. It's a true story. At least that's what the books say. We don't have proofs for that, but it's a nice one to be told. So, now, and that's all my projects. I don't have more. Well, I have one more small game, but I'm not talking about that yet. So.
There is one more on La BTG.
Yeah,
on the BTG. There's
called
one.
Santa Justa.
That's it. Santa Justa. So, release dates, approximately?
Sorry?
Release dates.
Release data. The
Fecha de salida.
yeah, I don't know. Probably the next one is House of Fado will be in May, the Kickstarter. Speakeasy is a little bit delayed, but I think the Kickstarter will be still this year at the end of the year. Probably it's a 2025 game. So you guys don't have to worry about, you still have a lot of games to play until there. The Great Library, I don't know, 26, 27 probably. So.
Mm-hmm. Two more questions before playing a little game. Have you played Spanish design games?
I play Virus. It's a Spanish design game, right?
Yes.
I
Nice
play Bitoku is Spanish? No.
Sure.
It is?
Herman?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's a great game, Bitoku. I really like it.
It really is.
I don't know. I probably did more games because I usually play the games that are released at the time, and if the games are in trend, I probably have them. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of games. I have like 300 games at my house. So and I sold a lot. So as I said, I'm a gamer. I really like to play games, and I have all the games I can. So yeah. It's the matter of space. My house is not very.
We all have
big,
this problem.
So, yeah.
We all have this problem.
And my boxes are not small. So
What is your favorite game? Not yours.
not mine. It's Brass. Yeah, Brass.
Lancashire or
Lancashire. I'd still play. I have 2 boxes of the first game, of the first edition. One is closed in shrink. I never opened it. The other one, everybody knows Brass, right?
Sure.
It has a place to place the coins. My game does not have colors anymore. So it was played so many times that the coins just wipe out the colors from the board. The cards are completely, well,
Wasted? Destroyed?
yeah, almost. I sleeve the cards, but the sleeves are short, and they have a small part in the top of the cards that are now completely black. So the cards are white and are black on the top.
You can afford bigger sleeves?
Yeah, I don't know. My wife says many times that I play Brass like
Don't
we
applaud
play
that, please. Don't applaud that.
like with a normal game of cards, like Earths, because we played so fast that game. I played probably in the table 100 times and
Really, Brass?
online
No.
more than 500
I
times.
played 20 more or less.
Yeah.
Lancashire.
Yeah.
Birmingham, just twice.
Lancashire, yeah.
No,
I
no
don't
more.
play Birmingham.
Lancashire,
I'm
just
not a
twice.
fan of Birmingham. Too much stuff.
Me too. The barrels doesn't work.
Sorry.
So, one last question before starting a short game. Do you know what Lacerda means in Spanish?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Lacerda?
Lacerda.
Sí.
Lacerda. Okay. Perfect.
Well, it's my name. And I think
no
it's
one can do that about that.
I think my
It's not your
family-
fault. It's your parents.
No, it's my parents' fault.
So, let's play a little game. I want to introduce the audience here. Let's play a game called Choose One.
Sorry?
Choose one. I'm going to give you 2 options, and you have to choose one.
Okay.
Okay? Like, for instance, left, right, up, down. Okay? Uwe Feld.
Feld.
Why?
Because he's a genius with the dice.
Uwe is a genius too.
Well, Feld is better.
I don't like the face. I don't like the face. Okay.
Feld is the guy who makes the best, makes the best use of dice without luck.
So, yeah, your favorite mechanic, using dice.
No, I can't because I cannot do his job because
Okay.
he's doing it so well that I cannot.
He's your goal.
Yeah, it's
knowing how to
very
use
yeah.
the dice and the mechanics. Okay, perfect.
It's really good. It's really good.
Favorite failed game?
Favorite failed game? Probably
Please.
Burgundy.
Okay.
Castles of Burgundy.
My girlfriend's favorite
I
game.
also like Dragon, the Year of the Dragon.
Year of the Dragon.
Yeah.
You like to
It's all
suffer?
I like to suffer. Well, you see by my games, right?
This is hard for you. Wallace or Soledad Centeiro?
Wallace or Centeiro?
Soledad Centeiro. Both. The games are designed by both.
That is tough because Wallace is my favorite designer and Centeiro are my friends. So, they're both.
No, just one.
As a designer, Wallace for sure. As a friend, Centeiro and.
I'll tell Soledad Centeiro.
Yeah,
I say that.
I know. I've been with them a few days ago.
Good Sandra or Evil Sandra?
Oh, Mean Sandra. For
Mean
sure.
Sandra.
Mean Sandra. The game was designed with Mean Sandra. Never played with Good Sandra. Always Mean Sandra. Yeah. That's how the game should be played. Yeah.
Is what you find on your house or?
No, in my house it's okay. Well, sometimes.
This one is hard too. Essen or MeepleFactory?
Oh, that is tough. Well, MeepleFactory is the first time I'm here and I'm loving it. I've been at Essen like 15 times already, so you can compare. Yeah, it's two different things. I'm enjoying very much to be here with you guys.
Okay, this is the Joker. Okay, you can answer this one. Vinyos 2010 or 2016?
Oh, 2010.
Okay, I didn't answer. I didn't find the question. You had it clear. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Ark Nova or Terraforming Mars?
Ark Nova.
Why?
Because the cards are more manageable. You don't have so much luck in the cards.
Totally agree. Agree. Italian games or Portuguese games?
Portuguese games or Italian games?
Italian games or Portuguese games?
I'm a fan of Italian games, but I like my games. So,
well, not according to you.
Yeah, but Italian games for sure. Yeah, Italian games. They are good. Not as good as mine. But
I don't like my games. Okay, perfect.
I do like my games, but Italian games are very good. Yeah.
I'm done. Any question from the audience? One by one, okay. Wait, ¿tenemos micro? ¿Tenemos micro para público? Sí, porque si no te va a dejar el cañote aquí. El problema es que no te escucho.
Italian games. Those guys are good. You like Italian?
He said twice. He said he doesn't like Soledad Centeiro and he doesn't like Portuguese games, okay? Realize that.
I imagine that when you're building a game, you're like trying new things. Have you found a moment where you said, okay, this is maybe too much, I'm going to make it a bit lighter or remove this complexity? Like, when does it happen, if it happens?
Well, what you're saying happens every day. I'm taking things, I'm adding things because I play test my games every day, almost every day. If not, I usually take 1 or 2 days to think about the solutions, but then I play test it again. Designing a game is for me a process that is a long process, takes 1-2 years to design, and the longest part is the play testing. And the play testing makes you taking things every day and adding new things to find solutions for what you want to achieve. Sometimes at the beginning I had some problems in taking things out because I really like them. Right now I don't. Even if I like a lot of mechanism, and if I know that the game will improve, if I take this my favorite mechanism of the game, I take it out. But usually I found the base that I call everybody calls the core of the game. That is usually very simple. Just like in Lisboa, you play a card and you take a card. It's quite simple mechanism. Or weather machine is there's a broken machine, fix it. And after that, I start to build the game. And usually I have a goal where I want to achieve, and I'm taking things and adapting the game to achieve the goal that I want. Sometimes the goal changes during the game, but very rare the base or the core game or the core base of the game changes until the game is ready. I know that the game is ready when I play test the game like 10 or 15 times and I don't change anything. If this is happening, the game is probably ready. Usually there is a thing that I miss always until I found it, until I say, okay, this is the thing that is missing for me to close the game. And that happens every time. I know that if I feel that it's missing something, the game is not ready. It can take 5 months, it can take a year. We never know when that thing just happens. It can be a playtester that says, oh, you should do this. Right, that's what I'm looking for. Or it can be, I don't know, I'm in the bus and something came up. That's a very nice process. I work with this type of process because I work in advertising for many years, for almost 20 years. And that's the same process of creation when I make the game, when I make any ads. And I like it a lot. That's one of the things that I like to do. That's playtesting. If anyone here wants to try to design a game, playtesting is the most important part of it. The more you playtest, you are sure, the more you playtest, better will be your game. It's no doubt about that. Yeah. Okay? Did I answer you? Okay.
¿Más preguntas? ¿De uno en uno? Pregúntasela en español y se la traduzco yo muy la mala. Si no te entiendes, se la traduzco yo.
En un mercado tan saturado como que tenemos ahora mismo ya de juegos, donde al final las mecánicas es difícil innovar nuevas y muchas veces te acaban volviendo muy encabezadas, ¿cuál es el truco para que más o menos siempre en unas mecánicas parecidas salgan juegos tan frescos como lo que suelen ser?
Una caja grande y que lo saque Eagle Griffin. Esa es la respuesta. Y después Ian O'Toole. I answer for you, okay?
That's it.
That's it.
He answered me. The Caixa Grande, Ian O'Toole, and Eagle Griffin games.
Second guess? Okay.
If I understand well, is asking me about
In a world so saturated we have nowadays,
how do I find new mechanisms for
what
the
makes
games?
your games so fresh?
Well, they are not fresh. I'm using mechanisms that many people use, right? The thing is that I have a goal that I want to try to reach, and I look for the best mechanisms to fit that goal. My games are very based on team. I do a lot of research before we start making the game, before I start to play testing the game. I research a lot because I look for subjects that I really like, that taught me for somehow in my life. And one of the parts that I really like is to research the team of the game. And then based on the team and the goal that I established to fix the game, I build the mechanisms on the top. If I use mechanisms from other games, or if I'm changing some mechanisms or creating new ones, it's not very important for me. The part that is important is to achieve the goal and to make the mechanism as much understandable as possible for the players to understand what they are doing without going to the rules many times, okay? At least after you play a few games. Because if the mechanism makes sense in your head, it's much easier for you to play heavy games. Because, yeah, I'm doing this because it makes sense. I'm producing wine, so I have to have vineyards, right? So go get some vineyards. I'm not spending all my money and not get vineyards, just like one player did once. And, well, you are producing wines, you need vineyards, so go get them. So that type of thinking I have in all my games. So the mechanism just comes out after that. Of course, I look to have some mechanisms that are not in other games, but that is not the most important thing that I look for. Okay? Yeah.
Pásale el micro, por favor. Au, no he dicho nada. Mi respuesta me hablaba más.
Hi.
Hello.
Some questions. I love your games. We love it. And sometimes I understand you find inspiration in process which have a part of collaborative work like space counter or build a car in a
Factory.
but then you find a way to compete, and this is very good for interaction. One of them we are talking about coming from in the car was CO2. I think it's not too good understood as well it is, but the thing that plays in that game is to try to save the humanity in the end. So it's a game there, and how do you find where there's a mechanic in the reality to it worth to be played? How do you take the theme, the idea, the topic that could be played? This is the first question.
Okay.
The second is about the artificial intelligence that is all around now, and I think it's taking the best works. We don't use it to move hidden things, we use it for music, creation, and it's a bad idea, I think. Do you think it could be soon, not just in illustration or creativity, just too in designing complex mechanics in board game could be done by artificial intelligence?
Buenísima pregunta.
Sorry for my English.
No problem. It's as good as mine or better, so don't worry about that. Starting with the second one, okay? Artificial intelligence. I'm using it right now for prototyping. Before that, just for prototyping.
Okay,
don't worry about that. Can you hear me? Yeah. Before that, I just look for images to make the prototypes in image banks and stuff like that. With IE, the tool is much faster for me because I can have much more images right now and use them for prototype. I never use them for the final product because, well, they are not good enough, and my son is an artist and he doesn't like that I use it anyway. But I agree with that. We don't know what AI will take us. We don't. But right now I'm using AI just like a tool, like I start using the computer on the 19th, okay? Not more than that. And I don't have much more to say because we don't know what will happen in the future. I hope they don't start to designing my game, so let's see. I still need the artists to make the iconography and to make the illustrations because AI right now is not good enough for that. Anyway, about the first one, how I get the teams and then simulate the mechanisms to make it. Okay, CO2, for instance, is a subject that I'm worried about. Everybody is worried right now with the climate change, right? It was in 2012. It was not very talked about at that time when I designed the game. I received some bad letters from many people when I designed the game. But it was a subject that worries me about, and I was making some research about how the carbon credits were working in that time, because some companies could buy carbon credits to pollute a little bit more, and I tried to have that simulation on my game. And because of that, I designed the market of the carbon credits on CO2. I also realized that the game wins with money, right? And I also realized that the best way for us to have a fast implementation of green energy will be if the private companies get some money from it, could get profit from it. And if the private companies have profit from that, that will happen really fast, and that's how I made the game. So basically, I research about the team and try to place it on the game. For me, it's much easier to design the game like that. The part of cooperation is because I know, and everybody knows, that some companies have the grids, other companies have the implementation and the infrastructures, and other companies run the power plants, right? So that's what I did in the game. One player just plays the infrastructure, another player runs the power plant. So nothing that you have in the game is not happening in real life. And doing that, it's much easier for me to design a game than just thinking about the mechanism that may simulate something. I do the opposite because my mind works like that, and it's much easier for me. Okay, and that's how I design the games I design, because I think how is this happening on the real life, and I try to place it on the paper or on the game. Even Weather Machine, that people say that is a very fantastic game and does not have any team because it's nothing happened. Everything in Weather Machine is happening to our world right now, at least in my mind. I'm not saying that I'm correct about it, but the problem of the climate changing that humankind is doing right now, and we are changing the weather, and at the same time we are trying to fix it, but we are not trying enough, and we cannot fix anything, and it's getting worse. It's what's happening in the game. And some people just don't get it because, oh, I should improve the climate, but it's not improving in the game. So I don't like it. Well, it's real life. Just deal with it. That's how I made the game, okay? So just to answer your question, everything I put in the game, I'm trying to take them from the real life because things happen. It's easier for me to design like that, and it's easier to the players to understand what is happening and what they should play the game, right? Yeah.
¿Más preguntas?
Yo tengo preguntas que son bastante parecidas. Y su top 3 de sus juegos, esos fueron incluidos Inventios y Ficticios, que ha dicho que estaban en el top 3. Y su top 3 de juegos duros que no hayan sido creados por él.
I knew it. He wants to know the top 3, right? My top 3.
Design by you and design by the other one.
Yeah. My top 3 changes a lot because depends on the games I played at the time. I can say that I like all my games because if I didn't, I don't publish them. If I don't like the game, the final product, I will not publish it. And I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of unfinished games, so it's not a problem for that because my company, fortunately, publish everything I give to them. So my top 3 changes right now, maybe looking at your games, I love the galleries and Kanban. Vinhos was my first game, so maybe on Mars because it's mais duro de todos. Lisboa is my city, so, and I have some friends from the United States right now there, and I show them the city. So, and we play Lisboa, so I fall in love with Lisboa again. So, but yeah, my top 3 is the 3 games that I'm playing probably right now. I'm playing more Inventions. I'm starting to play now again, and I missed the game because I didn't play Inventions for 2 years ago. So from probably 2 years. I can say that's because it's on my top 3 right now, but I cannot say it's the best one. Lisboa on Mars probably. It depends on the last game I played. I played Escape Plan a few days ago, and I enjoyed the game a lot. So, and it's probably one of my least enjoyed games, Escape Plan. So I don't have a top 3.
Do you replay your games?
Sorry?
Do you replay your games?
I replay my games a lot. I don't redesign the games, but I replay the games. Yeah. Well, I redesigned CO2, and I made an expansion for on Mars. That's it. Vinhos is the same game. I made the second one. Are you playing which one? 16, 2010? Only 16? You have to play 2010.
It's harder.
It's as más duro,
It's harder.
mas es mejor. She knows the rules of 2016. It's one more rule. Yeah, try it. It's much tough. It's a bigger one. It's a better one. So I designed the second version of Vinhos to introduce more people to the game. And then you have to play the first one. Okay? Both are good. I think both are good. Sometimes my friends at my home, they prefer 2016 also. But the original one is the one that it's in my heart, you know? Yeah.
Agree. ¿Preguntas? ¿Alguna más?
Okay? Yeah.
Esta y si queréis otra más, ¿vale? Tenemos ya la gente de MeepleFactory esperando para...
You mentioned before that the amount of players that want to play heavy games are growing in parts and places. Is there like a heavy games scene appearing, like some events where heavy games are more present or somehow, or is there something like that being created? And if so, or places where you see more designers like you focusing on no matter how difficult games are, like experiences, something like that.
In Portugal, we have a convention that is Con. You guys should go there. It's a heavy game convention. There are a lot of designers. It's organized by Paul and Santiago, other heavy gamer designers in Portugal also. They organize that con. The con has already 12, 14 years probably. It's not as big as this. It has like 800 people in 3 days. But you play heavy games all the time. Yeah, it's my favorite con in the world. So, and I've been at Con, of course, in the United States. It's a very heavy convention, but it's not as good as Con. You should guys go there. Just visit Portugal and go to Con. It's next to it, yeah? Sorry? City, Leiria. Leiria in Portugal is like 150 kilometers from Lisbon. Look for it. It's a really good convention. You only play games.
But it's not for everyone.
It is.
No, it's not.
Well,
it's for your family, no?
No.
Not for normal people.
If you at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, people are playing party games because everybody is tired. You are not playing an heavy game at that time.
Up to 350 from BGG weight. No,
it's a good one. You should try it. I'm advertising here, so go to Portugal.
Última pregunta. Diana, si es que nos queda poco.
I got here today, so I'm not sure if you answered it before. You did mention that you take inspiration from the real world, right? When you do your games.
I try to.
You try to. Does that involve when it comes to the artwork? So, for example, do you get involved in the artistic part of the game when it comes to maybe proposing an artist or proposing a style that you think will go well with the theme of the game?
The same English we speak.
Yeah,
same English.
Thank you. Yes, I'm involved. Well, it's me, but I'm involved in all the parts of the making of the game. And for the big games, I only work with one artist, that is Echadle. And Echadle is very good because it only doesn't do the iconography, but he also does the art. It's much more quiz artist because he do both. And before he's starting to do the art, I'm almost finished the game. He plays the game with me a few times. He playtests the game, he gives ideas, we develop the game based on his idea. So I'm involving in the art since the beginning because I said I need this icon, and there's one part of the playtesting and he just delivers a white sheet only with the iconography, no art at all. And we playtest the game like this during a time to just make sure that players understand the iconography very well. If you know my games, they don't have letters, they don't have sentences, so it's only iconography made by Echadle usually, and I'm very involved in that part. For instance, with inventions, it changes the iconography like 5 times because it was not working at all. With Speakeasy, the opposite happens. The first time he delivers the iconography, the game works really fine. Really well, players just understand everything here the first time. So that's the part that I'm really involved, and I make sure that it's well done, and it does it very well anyway. So, and we are working together for 10 years already. So It's a partnership that works well. For the smaller games, I usually work with a Spanish artist. That is, oh, sorry. Oh man, I'm sorry, old age. It's Mercado Lisboa. Soto. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, Soto, if you are hearing me. Yeah, and he's working with, he did the bot factory, and he's working, hopefully, he's working on the next one that is called Santa Justa, but you don't know about it yet. So, and I like to work with him. The style is completely different, but he also does the iconography and then the art. And this is very important for me because it's more cohesive and it's easy to understand. If you have two different artists, one graphic designer to make the iconography and artist to make the art, sometimes things just don't match. Yeah. So, and yes, I'm involved in every part until the production, even on the production. Yeah. I work in advertising for many years, so I know something about production, and the proofs comes to me every time for me to approve before it goes to the market. So if something is wrong in the game, you can blame on me. So I'm the one to blame too. Yeah.
Pues nada, Víctor, muchas gracias por la entrevista.
Gracias
por este rato. Gracias por tus juegos, por todo lo que nos aportas. No gracias a Eagle Griffin por los precios, pero por lo demás,
sí,
gracias a...
No puede valer nada. Y el Natul es mucho caro.
Hay más gente, ¿vale? Hay más ilustradores. Hablar con MeepleFactory, por ejemplo. Bueno, gracias al público por las preguntas y por el rato. Y yo quería tener un último detalle contigo. Yo soy de un pueblo muy pequeño que se llama Algarrobo, que está aquí cerca, en Málaga. Y este es nuestro dulce típico. Una torta de algarrobo.
Muchas gracias. I want to eat it. Thank you very much. Obrigado a todos por me escutado.